Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Bommer number LB4312-350-640. This is a single acting spring hinge. And let's dissect that part number a bit. First of all, the LB stands for lube bearing, which is a maintenance-free concealed sort of bearing construction specific to Bommer. 4312, it means that it is a single acting spring hinge. Okay. With what is called a template pattern on a 3.5-inch hinge with a 5/8 radius. 4312 specifically means that. It means that it's full mortise as well, that when the hinge leaves are brought together, or when the door is closed, when they're brought parallel, they're intended to be mortised flush to the edge of the door and to the frame. Also means that it is a residential hinge where the leaf thickness is 96 thousandths, and that's going to work with a frame prep of 85 to 109 thousandths. Residential weight is what it's called. The -350 is a reference to the size. That means this hinge is 3.5 inches tall and 3.5 inches wide is what the 350 means. Now 640 means two things. It means that it's oil rubbed bronze but on a brass base material. It's not solid bronze, it's steel with an oil rubbed bronze process on it. It's a single acting spring hinge like I said earlier. And before we go further, you're going to get screws, wood screws and metal screws in a complementary finish. Now, where you're going to use a hinge like this is where you've got an 1 3/8 door residential hinge and you need it to be self-closing. Some people, grandparents, like to have these installed on the basement door just in case that door is left open. They want it to close when the baby's coming through the house or whatever condition. And speaking from practical experience, you might have an extra bedroom in the home that's not used. Well, in the winter, you want that door to be closed so that it's not consuming all the heat. Put a spring hinge on it. Keep that door closed is what that's for. And you can mix and match these with regular hinges because the axis of pivoting is compatible with a regular hinge. If you've got a hollow core door, one of these would really do the trick. However, 2 hinges will handle up to a 70-pound door and 3 hinges will handle up to a 90-pound door. Now I'm a fan of all spring hinges, not for the obvious reason, but because you get a greater amount of success out of the closing of the door. But it's not only the closing, it's the latching as well. You need the door to get open and then have that stored energy in the spring, get it moving closed, and continue through the closing cycle really on inertia, but have enough residual spring power to get the door latched, and it's got to overcome the friction of the latch bolt hitting the strike plate as well. Differences in wind temperatures, you might have a window open, back door, front door might be open. So I liken it to a tugboat. They don't go very fast, but they can pull a lot of weight, and that's how I liken having more spring hinges on the door. If you've got extra spring power on reserve, you're more sure of getting a positive closing and latching of the door every time you do it. Now, how you set the tension is really easy on these. You're going to get in the package a tension rod, black piece of steel, and you're also going to get a tension pin. Silver pin right there. This happens to have 2 because there's 2 on this client's order. Setting the tension, when you install the hinge with the tension collar pointed up, you insert the tension rod into one of these holes. And when you do that and you turn it clockwise, you reveal new additional holes in there. And as you reveal new holes, you can insert that tension pin. You can reveal up to 3 new holes as the safe margin recommended by Bommer for the spring. You don't want to over tension the spring. It can break, although it doesn't happen often. But when it does, it's because it's way past its engineered limit and it's irreparable at that point. This hinge is left-handed or right-handed because it's completely symmetrical. You could install it at either end with on either hand of door. There is a link below this video to the template, moving back to the dimensions, showing everything important dimensionally about it, specifically the location of the screw holes. If you want to match that up against your existing door and frame, that's definitely a good idea. There's also a link below this video to the installation instructions and almost always you'll get them printed on the back of the box. But if you don't have the box, the installation instructions are there. Last thing I'd like to point out to you is the Bommer logo. Right above there it says, hard to see, it says Made in USA. A fact that Bommer is quite proud of, ANSI to represent them. If you have any questions on the Bommer, number LB4312-350-640, single acting oil rub bronze spring hinge with a 5/8 radius, I don't know if I said that, or any other Bommer product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.